I was walking down the street with my son the other day, and I was walking by the curb, and he was walking on the other side, and I saw his face go like this, and this, and then he goes, "Oh God!" And then he comes and he walks around. He makes me walk by the bushes, and he walks by the curb. And I said, "I saw you struggling over there," and he said, "Yeah, yeah, I just can't not do it." Because he'd be mad. My husband never let me walk on the curb side of the street. He felt his job was to protect me at all costs. I need a lot of protection because I don't know what I'm doing half of the time. And he saw that all the time. And Son 606, which was who I was walking with, always thought he was over the top with it. Always thought it was a little. He took it to the point where it was silly, and he thought walking on the curbside was silly, but he was raised by that man, and that's what that man believed in. And I tell you, it, it's so fascinating to figure out what the man of the house is supposed to do, because I think what the man of the house does depends in part on the house he comes from. I'm gonna tell you about the first man of the house argument my husband and I had. This is Decker. Say hi. So I love my cheeks jowled. Look at that. Oh, he's in heaven. But anyway, first argument we really had. We were married. We were upstairs in the bed. The alarm went off. He gets up to go downstairs. As he reaches the downstairs landing, he turns around and sees me right behind him. And he went, like, go back upstairs. Go back upstairs. Go back upstairs. He was so mad, so I went back upstairs. And then, it wasn't nothing. The alarm went tripped off. And then we had the argument. And the argument was, why in God's name would you come down here? This is my job. You're supposed to call the police and jump out of a window if something's going wrong. What are you doing? And I said, well, at my house, at my house, my parents would have done that together. My mother was from the south side of Chicago. She wasn't gonna let a man go down there by herself. And that's how I learned how to do things, that it was us against them. And his contention was, and it was not the point was not lost on me. His contention was uh he um uh he can't fight full throttle if he's worried about where I am. And my counter argument was, yeah, but this is my house. I know where all the knives and the sharp things are in the kitchen. While you're engaging wherever you are, I slip up from behind, grab a utensil, and assist from the back when they never expected to see it coming. Now, I lost that argument. Just the way I lost the argument that we had about the picture on top of the bedroom. No, no, no. No, nobody won that argument. We could never agree on the picture that should go over the bed, so we just didn't have one for 34 years. The argument I lost was TVs in the bedroom. I don't believe there should be TVs in the bedroom. He likes to have TVs in the bedroom. And for 34 years, we had a moment right before it was time to go to sleep where he'd be watching TV and he knows I'm about to ask him to turn it off, and I know he's waiting to hear turn it off, and I don't know why he won't just turn it off because he knows I want to turn it off. And I said, and then I say, honey, and he says, what? I said, could you turn the TV off? And I got mad once about it. I said, if you know I can't sleep with the TV on, why do you make me ask? Why don't you just turn it off? He goes, because I'm never ready for it to be off. I want to watch it as long as I can. So until you say something about it, I'm going to continue to watch. He was absolutely right about that. I still think I was right about going downstairs with him, and you will never convince me otherwise. 2 on 1 is better. We know the house. I know where all the knives are. I just believe that, but whatever. But I realized since he's died that for him, being the man of the house was building fences around me wherever I might land. I have one of these brains that is unsettled. It don't want to sit down nowhere. It want to go over here, then it want to go over there, then we're gonna go up, and then we're gonna go down. We're gonna go and uh he ran around behind me and built fences around everywhere I landed. Whatever I was doing, he was the he was the fence. He wouldn't let anything harm me over there. Now this is the other dog, mm, Zora, who wants to see you too. Hello, 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 hello. But anyway, he just built fences around me because I would be scared. Oh, I can't do that. Yeah, you can, baby. I'm right here. And when he said he was right here, he was right there. So I got into it with somebody. I don't know what to do. I go in and I'd ask him. Well, he taught me how to wait. He taught me you don't have to respond to people right away. He taught me to be cool. He taught me to be definitive. He taught me to say no without explanation. So his job as the man of the house was protect the chick that he had in it. Now, everybody asks me, I said, well, did he lead your house? And, it depends on how you look at it. And I don't, we were in it to win it together. I had abilities that he didn't. He had abilities I didn't. Neither one of us could have gotten where we got without the other one. And everybody had their area of expertise, you know? And we had a weird thing. We did all of our major decisions together. And it was always, it wasn't, this is what we all done. It's like, well, this is what I think. Well, this is what I think. Well, we would we wanted to come to a consensus or a conclusion because we wanted to use the best of my brain with the best of his brain. And our brains were good in other areas to have the best solution. If we couldn't come to an agreement, it depends on what the topic was. If it was about accounting or money or home repair or something, I'd let him make the call. If it was about legal stuff, something about schooling of the kids and the medicine or whatever, that was my fastball. And that's what I did. So I don't think it's I don't know. You gotta love the person that you're with. And you got to love the person that you're with in a manner that allows them to feel that love. And you can't feel that love. They can't feel the love you give if you don't understand the kind of love they need. Um, I could have never married my daddy. And my mama could have never married my husband because they had very different ideas of what it was to be the man of the house. But we were both married forever because we got it worked out. All I'm saying is, everybody's on this is how it ought to work, this is how it ought to go. Generally, there are parameters about how things ought to work, but you really got to understand one another instead of listening and listening and listening to, all of the pundits and the dating advice, including mine. Talk to the person that you're with and figure out where they're weird and work with that. Because I always used to say about my husband, yes, dating me, when he was dating me, he he ignored my weird. Because I was good looking back in the day. I was like 40 years ago. But once he married me, he made a commitment to ride my weird with me. And he did it. And part of riding weird with me is watching me bloom and explode in all of these unrelated areas. And instead of, oh, stop her, it's like, I'm going to protect her wherever she goes because wherever she goes, she tends to have a good idea too. So don't run your marriage. Don't let Facebook do it. Don't let me do it. Don't let nobody who talks to you do it. make sure you're running yours. Because my sister couldn't have married either my father or my husband because she got a whole different set of criteria that nobody met. And she never got married. And whenever she would get lonely, she'd call me up and ask me what was happening over my house. And by the time I got done telling her, she said, "Wait, I know she was doing back handsprings down the hallways, thinking, thank God I never did that." Now, here are the children, the ones that I have left. That's a picture of my mother, me, and my sister over there, who is single and a neurologist and has been all over the world. Um, but anyway, I'm not jealous. Um, uh, and she's not jealous, which is wonderful, which means there ain't no one way to run the show. You got to run the show the way you want to run it. Do you see my haircut? Gave myself a Matthew, if thy left eye, if thine right eye offend me, pluck it out. I did one of those, like, you don't want to write, Indeed, I did. Which you don't care anything about. But anyway, it was nice talking to you. Y'all have a good day. And remember, you run your stuff. Just, you know, now you can listen. You pick up tips and this and that because I'm a consummate thief. You got a good idea, I'll try it. But I don't just believe people. I trust, but verify.